Today we will discuss about Coombs test. Coombs test was invented by Robin Coombs, a British immunologist who in the 1940s invented a blood test that bears his name and a version of which he still widely used to diagnose some kinds of anemia and to prevent negative reactions to transfusions. Died on Jan 25, said the British Society for Immunology, a professional group he helped found. This Coombs test was invented by Robin Coombs for diagnosis purpose of some kinds of anemia and to prevent negative reactions during transfusion of blood. This was the intro of Coombs test. Let's start for discussing of Coombs test. In Coombs test, first we know about autoantibody and antigens. So in pictures you saw blood cells. Blood cells contain antigens. There are the different types of antigen like ABO blood antigens, RH antigens and many more. These antigens are attached to the blood cells. Look at the pictures. These antigens are attached to the blood cells. In some conditions like immunohemolytic anemia can produce the autoantibody. This autoantibody attached to these antigens and produces and causes the immunomediated destruction of the RBCs, which can causes the anemia. So the cause behind this is these autoantibodies which can produce in some conditions like immunohemolytic anemia. These types of autoantibodies can found in this Coombs test. So first we know about the antigens and autoantibodies. These autoantibodies and antigen reaction can causes immunomediated destruction of RBCs, which can causes anemia. So in this we will discuss in antigens and antibodies. Next, there are the two types of the Coombs test we will discuss. Two types of Coombs test, that is direct and indirect. Before discussing this type, first we know about the Coombs reagents. Coombs reagents, let's discuss about Coombs reagents. We can take a human which containing the autoantibodies, means having the immunolytic anemia type disease. We take the autoantibody from this human. For this we can take the blood sample of this human. We separated serum from this blood sample and then found antibodies. These human antibodies we can inject it into the animal, any type of animal. Then this animal can produces the own antibodies against these autoantibodies of human. This when this animal produces its own antibodies, we can take the blood sample of this animal and separated the serum from this blood. This serum can containing the antibodies, which these antibodies we can say as Coombs reagents. In this way we form the Coombs reagents, that is we can take the blood from autoantibody humans and separated serum from this blood and take the antibodies of this blood, and these antibodies we can insert into the any type of animal. This animal can produce its own antibodies and we can take these antibodies against this, and we take this as Coombs reagents. Let's discuss about types of Coombs test. There are the two types of Coombs test, direct and indirect. In direct Coombs test, we can found the immunohemolytic anemia. In this, we can take the blood sample of human. For this sample, we take this sample into the test tube. This sample can containing the RBCs which are attached, in which antibodies are attached. We take this sample into test tube after separating this serum, and then we add Coombs reagent to it. When we add Coombs reagent to the destructed RBCs, they mix with each other, and the RBCs are agglutinated at the base of this test tube. That means the presence of autoantibodies in this sample means these humans having immunohemolytic anemia. In this way, we can test the direct Coombs test, in which we can take the direct sample of human beings which are infected to immunohemolytic anemia, and we can found this as positive. Then second is indirect in this we can found a hemolytic disease of newborn. In this we can take the sample of pregnant female which having a Rh negative blood group, and a fetus, first of delivery fetus, she can bear as a Rh positive. This Rh positive fetus antibodies enters into the pregnant female's blood through the placenta. This can causes the combination, and Rh positive antibodies enters into the mother's blood. That means in first pregnancy there is no problem. In second pregnancy we take this blood from this female and the separated serum from this serum, in which this mother having no Rh positive antibodies, means this human having anti Rh antibodies. Then in this indirect test we can add Rh positive RBCs in her blood, and then we can add the Coombs reagent into it, in which we are not direct taken sample from this. We can also add the Rh positive RBCs in this sample, and when we add the Coombs reagent to this sample, blood RBCs are agglutinated and settled into the base of this test tube, means this is positive Coombs test. In this way we can found a Coombs reagent, Coombs test as a positive, means we can detect as hemolytic disease of newborn. In this way there are two types of Coombs test, direct and indirect, and this is all about Coombs test. Thank you.